welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and this is going to be our pattern from a photo number 14. So yeah, wow. These things, like, they just goes like crazy. So this is the pattern. I can't find it anywhere. I'm assuming because it is a square that I got it from Instagram. That was my guess. I tried to see if I could do like an image search for it. That did me no good. I can't find it anywhere. I have no idea who made this. I kind of know what it was about the image itself that I liked. I like the fact that it's gold black with this little touches of blue. Let me just straighten this thing upwards. Sure, that's close enough. And then I can crop out a section of this, Control C. So yeah, I really like the colors in it. It was a lot of fun. It's got this fun repetitiveness to it that's sort of interesting. Even though like the stuff on the sides, it'd be really interesting to see what this becomes if you make it a double wide, because what's happening on the side is nothing like what's happening in the middle. So that could be an interesting thing to explore. So I already worked out earlier that it's 11 strings, or 22 if you count both sides, which is going to make it weird for the kumi. It is what it is. So let's move this off to the side. That's fine. And we are going to move that to a new layer. That way I can move it around if I need to. So bonus. So it's not a super clear photo. But I suppose this is enough for me to work from. I can pretty much figure this out. So let's start with the dot in the center. It's this sort of white. Oh, perfect. I don't know if you can see over here where I just used a color picker. Basically, I used the paint tool and I held the control key and it let me pull up a color, and it came out more of a gray, which is great because it makes it a little easier to spot it from the background. I'm going to do this too. This will make it a little bit easier. By the way, I'm using Gimp, and it's a free software. You can use it for Windows, which is what my computer is. You can use it on Linux, and you can use it on the Apple computers. So whatever you've got, you can use this one, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Especially because it's free, right? I mean, let's face it, that's the big draw. It's free. I have tried to use some web editors. Maybe I should make a video on that. Like, if you guys are interested, if you're curious, let me know in the comments. We can maybe do something with that. So this, when I zoom in, it looks less black and way more dark blue-ish. That actually might give me ideas to try it in a darker blue. That's actually pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here in the center, because I want this cool shape to be the middle of it. So that's why. I'm going to work from the center upwards, because there's no need to do the whole thing, because I can just copy the top and flip it and put it onto the other. In fact, I don't have to even do the whole top part of it. I can just, because both sides mirror each other, I can do everything on this right hand side. That might actually make things go a lot faster. So let's do that. All right, so I need, so I'm kind of moving around with the color picker, which again is just holding the control with the paint thing, until I get like a color that looks nice. Some of those were kind of darker and it wasn't nice. So this is it coming up to the middle, and then it comes a couple off of there, and then it's also a couple this way. Right? Right. That's... It can get a little confusing, especially when you're only doing a small segment of it. So next, it has this dark going all around it. So I'm giving you guys like the much shorter, faster version. This is me knowing things that I can do. We've done a lot of like the easier versions where, you know, I kind of try to go through all the details. This is going to be a little bit more advanced. So the next color outside of this, because like basically we're at this point over here, the next color is this white, and it comes all the way, but not to the center, which again, it's one of those little details that I caught in it that I just thought that's kind of interesting. And then here it kind of has this little thing that comes out this way, and it'll happen again up there that way. Is that in the right spot? Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, it's up here. Okay. So there's like a little diamond-y square thing up here. So now I need this blue. And it doesn't get used an awful lot. It's just here and here, which again, it just makes it really interesting to me. See, this seems too dark. Let's brighten that up. There we go. Okay. Now, there's all kinds of stuff going on out here. So it's got... This sort of comes around the edges. Oh, it also goes right there. That's interesting. And then the gold is here, here, and out here. And here. So that's our little thing off to the side. I wonder, I don't know how many spaces we're going to get in of this whole pattern here. So there is this little thing, and then this goes around this. So we're basically at the bottom of one of these things again. And then this comes all the way out to the corner and then back in. Right. And then the gold does this. Goes past the white, past the black to here. Ah, like that. And then this part comes back in. Okay, that got a little confusing for a second, but we got it. This one is a white in the center of that. This one is the blue that's there, and the blue goes here. The dark goes this way. Around the little white thing that comes there. And back out to this. And then this comes here. This makes that. This is the little diamond in the center of it. And then it's the white again. And it doesn't go all the way to the end, right? There we go. So this is going to leave us in a really funny spot for the end. Actually, it's not too bad. Right? Because that's came around. Yeah, this isn't so bad. This actually is going to look pretty good. And then up here, we will have the dark blue, more dark blue, this blue, and what am I missing? I'm missing something. It'll be the bottom part here. Ah, okay. 3 little golds right there. Not so bad. All right, so now I have to figure out where all the strings come from and go to. So most likely the easiest one to start with might be this gold up here, because we know that that has to be going in both directions. It's going to be like, it'd be the same over on this side. Again, we don't have to fill those in. I don't know where it goes this way. So let's put in this dark. We know it is coming in and doing something. And we know this blue here will be the next one. And I suspect we can figure out how it gets there because it's like that. And it's probably the only string because there's not very many of it. So it's, you can see, right? It's just going to go underneath these things and just make a straight row to get to where it needs to be. Yeah. So basically I found the easiest one to do. I'm going to get it out of the way first. And that'll make doing the rest easier. Yeah, this is a little bit obvious. So this is a bit wider than I normally do. Again, this is something I grabbed this image. Well, when I saved it to an app for saving ideas and stuff, I did that in 2020. Now, I think it's possible that everything that went into that app was actually saved much, much earlier. And it was just in folders or something. And then I was going to try to organize everything. And I was actually rather excited about the prospects of organizing everything. And yeah, I don't know what happened. But I haven't used that app at all in some time. I recently was reminded I had it, so I decided to see what was going on in there. And there's all kinds of photos that I thought would be inspirational things for me to try. And mind you, this was a lot of them were pre creating tutorials and showing you guys how to do stuff. So this was strictly just something that I thought was really nice and that I wanted to make. And I'm finally going to go and do that. And there's a good possibility that I will use the same colors because it's really pretty. Well, I don't actually know what the colors will be because I haven't actually checked to see what's inside the airplane trolley to see if I actually have these particular colors, but we will see. All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on in this part here. I can see like this one is likely to be the dark blue. But this is also coming in So that one changed off of the gold. So that sort of makes sense. And then something going on in there. Again, I don't know how many gold strings there are in this. I'm guessing there has to be at least two, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet. Let's put in this white. We know that there's at least two because the one string going across couldn't possibly get to these points. So now this is all like the detective part of bracelet making. This is where like I honestly I don't know really anything at all about the pattern itself. And I'm trying to figure out how to get certain strings of certain colors into those spaces. And this is where it really kind of it gets a little bit crazy. So okay. Well, we know that this one comes down here because it has to. It has to. Okay, so let's say it did that. That could continue down to here. But we also need one coming this way. So this could be gold or this could be blue. If it were gold, it comes in, comes over, and then bounces and comes down this way. Or we can put the gold here and just go straight to it. And then that means this one becomes the blue that comes this way. And I don't know that there's necessarily an advantage to either of those. I think we'll just go this way just because it'll look cool at the edge over there. So this one is a blue and it's coming out to down here. And this one is a blue that has to come this way. So those make sense. Not sure about this last string. Because we take a look, this one can turn, this one can turn. Okay, let's take a look with this gold. It's possible that like it'll make itself evident. Whoops. A little further down, or we will find out that this is almost a 10-string bracelet, but then they wanted to put that extra edge just to get a little bit more of the pattern on it, and that the end string basically doesn't do anything, which that's a real distinct possibility as well. So the gold color seems to be pretty easy to get to where it needs to go. Let's do those. Ooh. I see. I got a little confused. I was trying to figure out how this was supposed to get over here, and it doesn't. It does this. And then this one comes in this way. And then this one will come in here. Yeah, that's kind of neat. I hadn't quite anticipated how that was working. So let's see. We've got all kinds of loose ends up here. So whatever this is, it comes in and back out that way. So I'm just trying to make sure that, like, wherever these strings are, like this one's coming down, this comes here, there's two dark ones coming in, so there's two dark ones going out, making sure that everything is still viable, which is really, it comes down to it. That's the most important part, right? Like, you know, you can come up with a really cool idea for a pattern, but if you can't get the colors to where they need to be and it's not viable, then, you know, it's just not going to work. This one comes down and changes. This one's here. That's just this thing coming through, isn't it? Where is it? Wait, we might have... Something happened up here, and I don't know what it was. Hang on. So this thing's just been hanging out at the edge, came in a little bit, came way in. Maybe it wasn't supposed to come in this far? No? Because at this point, it's looking like it needs to be a dark blue. Okay, let's say if this one had changed directions to come down instead, to do all this, what does that do for us? So then it comes in, does a little bouncy thing. That's really weird. So these are coming through. Yeah, this is probably like the least favorite part for some people in my videos, but if you're trying to like figure out how to do stuff, like this is it. This is where like I am figuring this out. And yeah, and then it comes back in, comes to this light blue one. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and make this a dark blue. It could be literally any of the colors. But I'm thinking about like how it's going to look in the kumi, and which, by the way, is going to be an interesting How do we go and do that kind of thing? Because it's got all the wrong numbers. Even with doubling up the string to this, um, 11 or 22 does not work in Akumi. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. All right. So we have our one corner done. So now it's time for the magic. We're going to use the select tool and we're just going to get it to snap onto our guidelines that we have. And Control C, Control V. We'll come over to the flip tool and we are going to flip it horizontally first. So that way we can complete the top part. And notice it just locked right onto the grid lines again, which is awesome. And then we can copy the whole top part, Control C, Control V. This time with the flip tool, we flip vertically and shift this down here. Doesn't exactly lock into place, but oh, it landed perfectly. Don't ask me how I did that. I have no idea. All right, guys, let's zoom out and take a look. And there's our bracelet. So it's kind of looks to me like from their bracelet, like they have like more of the shape going on, where mine only has the three of them. That's because they didn't double up their floss and they're not using the really big chunky stuff like I'm using. So that's the differences there. So if you want to make this for yourself, you can go over to my website, akaawol.com, take a look at the graph paper and figure out how many knots you can fit to your halfway point, and you can draw it up just like I just did. And because I will have this pattern over available in the tutorial section, you can actually peek at this and see how the pattern works, and that way you don't have to go through nearly the trouble that I just did in figuring out how the whole thing goes. So that'll make your life a whole lot easier. All right, before I go, let me thank my Patreon supporters who make this possible. And yeah, I'm gonna look forward to actually making this one. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And who knows? Maybe I change the colors altogether. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, anyways, thanks guys for hanging around this long. I really appreciate it. Do leave a like, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.